There has been a somewhat recent trend in many indie games to focus on more wholesome or positive messages, especially with a focus on initial youthful hopefulness. Less kill the bad guy and more, maybe try and figure out what's wrong with the bad guy, or maybe what's wrong with yourself. A Short Hike might seem like another one of these games that throws away dynamic gameplay elements for a more relaxed emotional experience. But don't let that first impression fool you. Even though A Short Hike may have the look and appeal of a game like A Night in the Woods or Firewatch, it does more than just craft heartwarming moments with basic gameplay mechanics. A Short Hike manages to balance a fine tightrope of expectations, refuting any criticism of it being too much of one thing, though of course, unless that one thing is charming. The game begins with a short shot of a car drive through a forest at the dead of night, an image that could already immediately be nostalgic for some, maybe going camping or to the cottage or traveling a great distance. Focusing on Claire, the protagonist of the game, A Short Hike fully opens on the beaches of a small mountainous park, wherein which one can explore and interact with the surroundings. Claire wants to speak with someone on the phone, but we're not exactly sure who it is, and in order to get enough cellular reception, Claire wants to go to the top of the mountain. From there, the game is almost completely open for exploration, where the limiting factor is the main collectible of the game, golden feathers that enable climbing and extra jumps. Yeah, it does kind of remind me of Banjo-Kazooie. Thanks for mentioning that, viewer, because I know you did. You must have, right? Yeah, you did. In this sense, the game is really just an isometric platformer, with a relatively small overall map to explore and see every nook and cranny of. And once you begin to explore and earn more new feathers, you quickly begin to realize that this game is far more than just its adorable aesthetics. There's some fairly bleak and realistic storylines dropped in, like the struggle for a feather seller to be able to afford his post-secondary school tuition fees, and the motivation of others to make the effort to compete in a race. It's all lighthearted, of course, but it certainly makes for a surprisingly emotionally diverse narrative, all centering around the main character, a bird who initially seems fairly aimless in her life goals. While the story seems like it's just a rush up a tall mountain to get cell reception, it's about much more than just a phone call. It's a game that's quite simply about doing things, and making small accomplishments and little things matter more than they might in another context. Playing around and exploring almost always nets you material rewards, from money to feathers that further your movement capabilities and more. In that sense, it can initially seem like there's so much to do, but once you really get into the groove of completing things, you'll begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You could easily plow through this game in a matter of hours, and maybe it does make for a great experience to cozy up to for a night's worth of play, but it can also really work being more spread out too. Each task is so unique, but still so simple that leaving a game for a while doesn't result in any kind of steep learning curves or anything to return. It's always approachable. I think especially now that it's on Switch, it's perfect as both a home console experience or a PC experience, as well as a quick, bite-sized portable game that one can slowly inch their way through at a pace they so choose. I must say that the end of the game, without spoiling what's going on, was way more satisfying than I thought it would be. And it's a fantastic reward for the brave trek you've put your character through. Even though it's not some huge narrative revelation, it is in line with the tone and overall message of the game, and it hits harder than I think many might initially expect it to. It's just a solid, lovable, and highly charming game. do go out and give it a chance. Wait, go out? I mean, you know, yeah, go out for a short hike and pick this one up on the digital marketplace. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Just play a short hike. It's really good. Look at it. Look how cute it is. It's fun. Just go out and play it. It's fun. Just give it a chance. That's all. I got nothing. It's just too cute.